Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. Today I am doing my daily spread, the collaboration by RachandBellacrafts. We are on day 11 and the prompt is a challenge I've overcome, and the hint in terms of how to do it is a hidden journaling piece under a flap. So I have got some hidden journaling under a flap, which I will reveal as we go through the video. And just before I start showing you how I made this, just a reminder that today Snips Happens with Tara and a dash of Dave are our artists for the day, and they're going to be doing a challenge that they have overcome and how that has affected them. So please do go and check out their channels, and a link to their channels will be in my description box. But let's have a look at how I put this together. Because the prompt is more, I think, relating to a journaling prompt to encourage you to write, I'm going to spend some time writing about the prompt, which is a challenge I've overcome. And I will do that in my writing journal. But I do also want to include a little bit of journaling in here. So I'm going to take this page out. So this is the page we did for a letter to myself. So I'm going to use this little flap here. So I'm going to pop that to the side a minute. And what I want to do is I want to put some gesso on here so that I can then journal over it a little bit later. And I did think about this morning what challenges that come to mind when I think about my life and everything that's gone on, and it's not all been hunky-dory, which I'm sure is the same for everyone. But I think the biggest challenge for me is overcoming my childhood, because it was far from rosy. And has obviously shaped the person I am today, good or bad. If you speak to my husband, he'll say I change on a minute-by-minute basis. But I could have turned out a lot worse, I'm sure. Okay, so I've got a little base here now that I can write a little bit of my thoughts and feelings over what I've overcome. And to be able to get on with the video, I think what I'll do is I'll just give that a quick dry. And I think it's perfectly acceptable if you're not someone who enjoys writing or journaling, then what you can do is while you're creating your page spread, you can be thinking about things and you can just allow your mind to wander and settle on the prompt and just have a think about the challenges in your life and what you've done to overcome them. And it might be something you don't want to dwell on. And yeah, there's definitely things that I don't want to dwell on, for sure. But it does help me to actually write things. I find that I can just get rid of things out of my head. Once it's on the page, I don't have to revisit it. I can just, yeah, get it out of wherever it is stored and pour it on with my pen and paper. So I'm just looking at this now because I want to keep it in line. So I'm going to create something that is very neutral. And I've got some pieces here. And this is going to be such a simple spread. It's barely going to take 5 minutes, I don't think. So what I want to do is I want to keep this loose somehow. So that's going to be my hidden journaling under a flap. It's just going to be just a piece of paper there. And so this piece here has been glued in the middle, which you could still do even if your journal is bound. So I've got a tuck spot on this side, and then I've just got this loose page here. And if you haven't got a small page in your journal that you want to create something like this, then just rip the page and just create a smaller page, and then you've got this little flap that's loose. But we're going to try and make it like it's not loose, that it's actually almost collaged over. So I've got some piano paper here that I thought would be nice to pop in the background. But I don't know, actually. I was wondering, I could put something a little bit... I don't know. Let me grab a bit of paper. I know which paper I'm looking for. Oh, here we are. This'll do. So I'm going to create some layers, but all the while making sure that I don't completely cover this page, or this flap I should say. And I've got this lovely faux Polaroid here, which I was going to use because I think it keeps it neutral. I'll leave that like that for a minute. And then I've got one of my made clusters, and this is what I was trying to do. So I'm trying to put something to the right side of the page so that I can lift this up right on it and then slot it back into place there. So that's what I want to do. So this whole piece needs to be glued on this side of the page. And I'm just thinking now, is there anything else that I want to add to that to make it a little bit more interesting? Although I think it looks quite pleasing to me. I like the little stamped flower there. I love that writing there. I mean, you can never have too much lace and things. So I've got, and I'm keeping the lace very similar in every page. I could remove that. So it's just about moving things around the page so that it looks pleasing to your eyes. Now, I think that's going to cause a problem when I try and get my hidden journaling spot out of there. But it certainly does, if I glue it like that, it certainly will hide it a lot better. I don't like that there. Why? I don't know. I just don't. Don't like that. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that, as it is like that. So what I want to do, I may just need to glue these down a little bit and then take them over the sewing machine. And what I want to do is what I need to do is stitch all the way around there. So if I grab this like this, right, let's glue. Let's add the glue. Just a little bit there. And there. That will keep those pieces together. So I'm going to stitch around there, and then I've got a whole piece that will be easy to glue into place. It's not my tidiest of pieces of work, but there you go. So that's going to go somewhere like that. I just want to grab this piece of scrap here, just as another layer again. Would have been great if I'd grabbed that earlier, of course, but yeah, so I could have stitched it, but there we are. Not to worry, I've grabbed it now. So it just gives it that just a little bit more of, it's from the kit, so I wanted to include something from the kit. So I like that. So I need to glue that on first. Oop, I just glued my finger. It's not the best of ideas. And I'm going to put some faux sellotape on here. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get the backing off that. So I'll just glue it as is. And I think I'll try and find some kind of sentiment there. So I want that to go like that. Okay, so that didn't glue very well. Don't know what I did there. Oops, I'm getting all a fiddle at the minute. I've got bits of thread coming out from every orifice here. So I've got to be able to take this out and slot it back in. So I think I can only glue this piece here. So I'm going to just pop some glue there and hopefully not glue it down. So I can still get to that, which is perfect. Okay, so let me find some kind of sentiment. I've got this little sentiment from Rachel's kit. So I think that goes lovely there. Now I do remember saying a little while ago, this is just going to take 5 minutes. I don't think it's taken 5 minutes at all. And I've also got this bit of fluff here, so I thought, well, I could quite easily put that like that as well, with a little butterfly. Something like that anyway. So let's just pop this on. Yeah, it's definitely taken longer than 5 minutes. Okay, so that is the page spread, and I now need to do my journaling, so I'm just going to journal here, and then we can hide it back underneath so that the flap is hidden. So I shall just get that done now. So I've got my journaling done, and I think that's enough said about that little thing. And let's find, what have I done with the middle of this now? My desk, oh, it's just chaotic. It is just absolutely chaotic. I've got to do something about it before I come back on camera. I really do have to. She says, knowing that she's not going to do anything. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. So we've got, even though you can see that this is loose, I don't think you can tell that you've got that flap underneath with the journaling as well. So thankfully we got there eventually, a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I've got a collage piece here. I've kept with the neutral scheme. We've still got some crossover with some greens, and then I've got my hidden flap here with my journaling that sits there, and if it was really sensitive then I could quite easily just glue that down and glue it into place if I wanted to, but I will leave it like that for now. So I do hope that you enjoyed this. Hopefully it'll be shorter than I'm thinking it's going to be by the time I get to edit everything, and I'll speed up some of the parts that that obviously you don't need to be sat there just looking at me slowly moving things around. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. But before I go, let me just have a reminder that we are on day 11, a challenge I've overcome, and it is Snips Happens with Tara and a dash of Dave. So please do go and check out their channels. I will have their YouTube channel links in my description box, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.